Hello everyone, it's Cassie and welcome back to another video here on my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be working with the brand new released stamp set by Simon Hurley Create called Lovely Lantanas. It is a gorgeous two-step stamp. You know how I feel about those two-step stamps, and this one has some great sentiments in it, and so we're going to be making some sympathy cards. Today I have 4 card panels ready to go, and I'm going to put this into my mini MISTI, and I'll show you the stamping of the outline just for one of these, but keep in mind we're making 4 because I want 4 color combinations. I'm going to show you with this kind of stamp set just how quickly you can crank out some cards if you're in need. I don't necessarily enjoy making sympathy cards, or at least needing them, that's for sure, but this is a quick way to get some done. So I'm going to stamp out the outline image first with my Ink on 3 Blackout ink. It's just a nice black ink. Any black ink would really do here in this situation because we're not going to be doing any sort of alcohol marker coloring or anything like that. So after all of those are done, you're going to grab the next stamp. And this stamp is like the solid, pardon my head, I'm just trying to make sure that's all lined up. And then once that's lined up, close the door of the MISTI and pick that up. Make sure that everything is pushed down to that lower right hand corner. I'm using my hand to just use the oils and condition that stamp a little bit since this is brand new. And our first color combo is some yellows. So that first color is Over the Moon. It's a light yellow. And then I'm going to bring in some Slippery When Wet, trying just to get the edges, but I find later on that I'm just going to just stamp all over that and bring in my microfiber cloth to soften the edges. We'll stamp that down, and I love it. Oh, I love that variation in the color. It's fabulous. So our next color combination will be Bee Sting for our lighter color. And then we're going to bring in some Game Over. I love how these two layer on top of each other. Again, just making sure that I have mostly those edges, and then I'll bring in the microfiber cloth to soften it in the center. Stamp that down, and oh, I love that one too. Our next color combination will be more of like the pinks and purples. So I am going to bring in Triple Berry. That one is one of my favorites. I actually over inked the pad with my re-inker, so I'm having to wipe some of that off. That, you know, I just wasn't paying attention, I guess, when I re-inked the pad. So it is, it's a little bit splotchy, but I don't mind. So I'm going to bring in Crown Me, and I love how those layer on top of each other as well. And then our final color combination for the flowers will be Breakup Blue. And then our darker color will be Midnight Snack. I don't do the best job of wiping away the harsh lines on this one, so you will see some harsh lines in there. But it honestly doesn't bother me. Again, I was just trying to make some quick cards. So I'll pounce away some of that, and then we'll be ready to move on to our leaves. So I've cleaned off and pulled off the flowers, and now we're bringing in the leaves. There are actually 3 separate stamps to cover all of those leaves, and so I'm just lining all those up. You could put one down, close the door of the MISTI, which would probably be the smarter thing to do, but I'm lining them all up first, and then I'll close the door of the MISTI. But I love two-step stamping. It just makes making cards so quick. So again, make sure everything is down in that lower right-hand corner. And then I'm going to bring in some later Gator. That'll be our light green, and it is a nice, vibrant, pretty green. And then we'll bring in the fake plant for our edges. So once I get the fake plant on there, doing the same thing with the microfiber cloth if I need it, you'll see that variation in the color, and it is gorgeous. So we'll do that for all 4. Now I need a sentiment, so I'm bringing in the sympathy sentiment from the Lovely Lantanas. Never really want to make these cards, but unfortunately they are necessary. And I'm stamping this with a nice crisp black ink. My suggestion would be a pigment ink, because that way it will be nice and crisp. All right, I have 4 card bases, and I want to have these match, so I'm taking that far right hand side of the card base for the opening, and I'm going to rub about 1/4 of an inch on each one of those using the darkest color that I had for that color combo. So that first one was Game Over, then the next one was Slippery When Wet, now we're using Crown Me, and then finally we'll bring in that Midnight Snack for our final card. And what that means is, since I had those panels all cut to 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches, I'm going to have to trim those down. So on the far left-hand side, I'm trimming off about 1/4 inch from each one of the card panels. It kind of centers everything up a little bit. And then when I stick this down on our card base, we've got that beautiful pop of the color on the right-hand side. So we'll just put this down with a little bit of liquid glue. You could use foam tape if you really wanted to. But again, these were meant to be quick cards. And then there they all are. But you'll notice that when I stamped those, it covered the insides of the flowers as well. So I'm going to bring in a Gold Luxe Dream Drop by Nuvo. I'm not sure if this is still available. If it is, I'll have it linked down below. But I'm just going to pop that into the centers of each one of those flowers. And I got a little bit drop heavy here on this red one. I'm going to pounce that down, make sure that those kind of look a little bit more like enamel dots. But I do that for all 4 of the card bases or card panels, and then you're going to want to let those dry a little bit. But check that out. I love it. I'm so happy with how quickly these came together, and now I've replenished my stash. And yeah, but if you don't need sympathy, change it out for any sentiment you might need. Alright, if you liked this video, be sure to hit that like button and consider subscribing if you haven't already done so. Thanks for all the love and support you guys give. And as always, I will see you very soon in another video. Bye, everybody.